that we think is best to begin to share ourself and our authentic self and raise up not only consciousness, but hopefully our humanity. And have it presented in a space, whether that's from the church and in community there, or in through community and expressive theater. People can find a way to connect and have translation.
Well, I'm hearing a hopeful message from both of you. Am I getting that wrong, Cecilia and Willis?
No, you're not getting that wrong. I am very hopeful. I'd like to respond to something that Pastor said, which is right on, and that is this issue of not just looking at the other point of view, but also understanding that we're connected through our humanity. I think that's a very important point, and it's the point from which we can get to things that are complex. Let me give you an example. We had 2 police officers who were shot recently in Ferguson. Thank God they were not killed. And we are very touched by that. One officer from Webster, another one from St. Louis County. And they were just trying to help out. And one person, 2 people, whoever it was, did this madness to hurt those 2 individuals. Now, as I have listened to the news media across the country, you hear constantly the violence in Ferguson was such that now we really wonder whether the protests are going in the right direction, blah, 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 blah. Very simplistic thinking, not critical thinking. The fact is that with the protest in Ferguson, there has been less violence proportionately than regular crime on the streets. The news media does not get to that complexity, and we can do that in theater. We can talk about issues that seem to be simple, and we can get to the complexity in such a way that people are more informed and much better able to look at why they take the position that they take. We are so polarized in St. Louis that if we don't have that moment in which we can steep into complexity and ferret out what's important and what is not, we cannot get to healing.
Cecilia Nadal is Executive Director of Heatana Productions, an arts and education organization in St. Louis, and Willis Johnson is pastor at Ferguson's Wellspring Church. Thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
From the challenging reality there in Ferguson to the whimsy of fairy tales. Later this hour, a new treasure trove of lost German folk tales. We're asking about your favorite personal stories and what they taught. From New York City, Hansel and Gretel, because it taught me that with ingenuity and guts, nobody could ever get the best of me. Tony from Detroit, Michigan. Jack and the Beanstalk taught me that there is treasure beyond my reach, so think creatively if I want to access it.
Hi, this is Sherman from Dallas. I always loved The Princess and the Pea because it showed me that no matter what else was going on, I could always be true, I could always hold the high standards, and I didn't have to bow down to anyone. If there